The investigative aspect of data analysis is one of the best things about this job. In this video, I will show you how a mystery gets solved using data. And if in my earlier video you saw how typical ad hoc request gets solved using minimal SQL, then in this one we will dive deeper and use more advanced techniques. We will build a more complex query step by step in a separate file, and then we will run that file from SQLite in the terminal. Oh, Madam's calling. There must be something urgent. I'm listening.
It appears we have a delicate situation. A customer has called and sent a photograph of his Russian blue litter. One of the kittens is of a different colour. The matter of concern is that the Queen was a guest at our establishment during her time in heat.
Oh no.
May you investigate whether the sire could be one of our guests?
Of course, right now. Do you mind if I include Jay for the purposes of his education?
Not at all. I should be glad to meet him.
Hello.
Jay, meet Madam, the owner of this hotel.
Hello, madam.
Good day. A pleasure to meet you.
Jay, you will be watching how we solve a business problem using data.
Okay, and what is the business problem?
Allow me to share the photo. It's an unexpected variation in the litter, raising the question of unknown paternity. This variation may have been introduced in our hotel.
Oh, I see.
Okay, I'll share my screen now. Who was the customer?
Willem. It's an Icelandic name with a different spelling. Thorson.
How many S's?
That I do not know.
Let's see. No results.
There are a lot of special characters in Icelandic. I'm just looking it up.
Yeah? Tell me.
Pretty much all vowels.
Okay.
And consonants like TH.
Right.
Why don't you use regular expressions?
SQLite does not support regex natively. Let's try this. Okay.
That is him.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. I'll grab the ID. I'll find him in the stays. Wow, he's a regular. What time frame are we looking at?
The kitten seemed a couple of weeks old, plus 9 weeks of pregnancy, but he didn't mention how old the photo was.
So we're talking about September. Then one of these two.
Room 306, the honeymoon suite.
Then it's definitely this one.
Honeymoon suite?
Yeah, it's suited to prepare queens for mating. So now we need to find other stays that overlapped with this time frame. Jay, how would you structure the query? The where statement.
I would look for stays where check-in is not later than the 29th of September and check-out not earlier than the 21st.
Yes, the logic is correct.
And you could add where human ID does not equal 62.
There's a caveat here. So if you write like this, then you would expect that, like in other languages, we will only exclude the records where human ID is 62. But in reality, it will also exclude the records where human ID is null.
What? Why?
Well, in SQL, null does not mean empty, it means unknown, and that changes your search results. So if there were cats in the hotel staying at the same time as the Queen, and they didn't have human ID recorded for whatever reason, we would miss them.
So how do we solve it?
Well, we could either include a check for null, like this, or we can just not do that at all, and I prefer it actually leave it out because then the query is simpler. Okay, and now we also have to parse the dates.
Why?
SQLite does not support date format. If it's a ISO date, so for example like this one, then it would be converted automatically when dealing with it, but any other format has to be parsed manually.
So how do you parse them if SQL doesn't support regular expressions?
I'll do that with AI. So I'm going to copy paste this into the prompt, and I'm going to give it examples of some data, and we have the query. Let's just try to run it. Let's see if it works. No, it doesn't. Let's check. Okay, I didn't specify the year correctly or at all, so let's try it like this. Still doesn't work. Something else. The 4-digit year.
Wow, how did you even see that?
Well, that's a typical mistake because look here. This requires a 4-digit year number, but we have that as a 2-digit everywhere, and nowhere in this function we are converting it, which I fixed now by adding 2000. So let's see if that works. And it does. The time looks correct. Look here, also the human ID is null, and we would have missed this cat if we were also excluding this ID. We would have lost that one as well. So it was good, but these are all cats that stayed at the same time as the queen, and we only need the tomcats. So I'm going to filter them out.
As you locate the tomcats, might you display their breed and colour?
Yes, breed and color. And I will include room number as well, just to see how far they were from the queen. Okay, there we go.
I see one ginger cat, the pumpkin, and one of unknown color. He could also be ginger.
It's a Russian blue, so he wouldn't be ginger. However, there's a sorrel cat, or reddish. That's our primary suspect.
But the ginger one was on the same floor as the queen.
Yes, but he's a ragdoll, whereas the professor is Abyssinian.
Should we investigate both of them?
I shall use this data to arrange a paternity test, testing one tomcat at a time. Might there be a way to gather more information?
Yes, I have an idea. Our hotel attendant has a habit of recording incidents by dictating them into her phone. And I have them here in this folder. So let's search for their names. We'll search for pumpkin, Batman, professor, and breakfast.
This is no longer SQLite.
That's a good old GREP search. So pumpkin was not mentioned. Let's try Batman. No mentions of Batman. Let's try professor. There we go. Professor was mentioned many times. Let's have a look at this funny story.
Professor was riding a cleaning robot.
But was that our Professor Breakfast or not? If that was a story on the intranet, then it could be this draft. and it was our professor breakfast. And it looks like she used him as an inspiration to write the story with ChatGPT. If he escaped once, then he could have done it again.
Oh dear, he might have fathered more kittens then. Shelby really ought to have reported that incident when she first saw it. I shall have a word with her.
And I will look at the other incidents. Should I export some data for you, madam?
No need, dear. Thank you kindly. Have a lovely day, both of you, and I'll be on my way.
Thank you.
Poor Shelby.
She'll be fine. Madam doesn't do punishments. She's a cat person, after all, and punishments don't work with cats.
That's nice. I have one last question. Why do we use SQLite, considering all the limitations we've seen today?
Actually, we don't. We use Postgres. I used SQLite today because that's how I started teaching you. But now we can go into learning Postgres.
Yes!
I will put something in your calendar. See you soon.
See you soon.
In this video, you have seen some of the very typical challenges of data analysis, dealing with non-Latin characters or local date formats, also dealing with NULLs in SQL, and dealing with unstructured data such as text files and not just tables. What wasn't typical at all in this video is that we used embedded SQLite and terminal, but for that I had a reason which I will explain separately. I hope you enjoyed watching the story as much as I enjoyed making it. See you in my next video.